Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to just kind of sit down and pick up a palette and just sort of see what I came up with. And this is the final result. So if you want to hang out with me and do some makeup and learn a thing or two, maybe, hopefully, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with my eyes today because I don't really know what I want to do. I do know I want to stick to one palette, and the palette I chose is the Jaclyn Hill OG palette, her first one, which is like, honestly, there's not a single color in here that I wouldn't use. Like, it's just such a good palette. There's just so many good colors in here. I think she just did such a good job. So I'm gonna stick with this guy, try to simplify this for myself. And I wanna start by concealing my eyes. So, how pale am I right now? Let's just use some Shape Tape. And if this is a Real Techniques domed shadow brush. And when you do this, it helps any shadows that you use really show their true color and not get washed out by any skin tone you have underneath. Okay. Now I'm gonna take a powder and just set that. All right, using the Charlotte Tilbury, I'm just gonna stamp this out with my finger and take a domed brush and just really set that so whatever shadow I put on top just lives there and stays and is really easy to blend. Okay, just gotta get this hair out of the way. Alrighty, so the first thing I like to do is go in with a crease color. So I'm just gonna pick up a Smashbox number 10, just a domed blending brush. I'm gonna pick up this shade right here. The only thing I wish this palette had was the names on the front. I don't even know what the name is because I lost the sheet that came with it. So, all right, I'm just gonna take this and just work this into my crease. I think I wanna go for like a Thanksgiving fall-ishy type neutral brown look situation. And the nice thing about doing your eyes first is, one, if there's any fallout that like lands in your cheeks or underneath your eye, you can clean it up easily. And two, if you want to keep like your shape of your shadow really high and winged, you can just take a wipe and clean it up. And that way you can kind of clean up any mess that you might make while you're putting shadow on. So you don't need to be as perfect in your application, which I like. All right, now let's deepen this up a bit. This is a Sigma blending brush E25. Let's pick up the color right underneath. So I'm gonna go for this guy. This is just gonna add more depth. And the tedious thing about doing multiple shadows is really just the secret is to just keep blending. Blend, 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 and then blend some more. So I'll usually keep this original blending brush and just go back and forth between the two to really just smash them all together. Okay, so now let's pick up something a little deeper but with a smaller blending brush. This is a MORPHE M514, and I'm gonna go for this shade right here. I'm just gonna tap it in there and just get rid of any excess. I'm gonna place this in the crease again, but I'm gonna actually pop it like on my lid almost. So that, because I want it to focus like all in this outer portion right here. See the difference? Just starting to build out color there. This is a small tapered blending brush from Sigma, an E45, and I'm gonna pick up this one right here. And this is a more tapered brush, so product will go kind of more where you want it versus just kind of blending it all over. And again, I'm just gonna sort of place it in the corner there. And I'm gonna bring this along the lash line and back up. clean blending brush. Blend all this together. Okay, now I want to go in for a little bit of like a shimmerier shade. So let's see, a shader brush. Eye shading Sigma E55, and I'm going to go for this guy. I'm going to place him like in the middle, see what happens. I'm going to keep it on my actual lid space. I'm not going to drag it up to the crease section, I don't think. Sometimes when you start adding lid color, you lose your crease colors, which is easy enough. So just pick up more of your deeper shade and blend it back in. It's funny, my viewfinder is picking these up like very orange. But in the mirror, they're looking like true brown. So we shall see what this looks like. Alrighty, now I'm going to pick up Sigma Concealer E70. I'm gonna see what this color does. I don't want it to be pinkish though. Not horrific. I don't hate it, but it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. Actually, let's blend this and see what happens. Sometimes to blend without adding too much product, I'll flip my brush over to the clean side and I'll just use that to kind of blend it into the shadow next to it. I'm gonna go back into that E25 and pick up my second shade and just add that a little bit. So what's kind of fun about playing with shadows is you can just add as you go. Sometimes you lose color the more you add, so you can just go back. Starts to sort of like change as you keep adding, which is really fun. Okay, a little more of that shimmer shade. Okay, now, do I want to do eyeliner? Let's do eyeliner. Okay, I'm going to pick up my Morphe Ink Felt Tip Liquid Liner. Scooch it a little bit. All right, nice and close. So I'm going to follow the line of my lower lash line and just lift it up. I start to work it back to the center. And I try to do liner the same way I do shadow, is just a little bit at a time, because once you start really getting into it, it's harder to take it away without disturbing what's underneath. And then I'm just gonna connect it to the inner corner. And then you just kind of fill it in. Now the only thing I don't love about this liner is it's a little bit shiny, and I like a true matte liner. Now the fun part is making this side look like this side. So let's see what happens. And my eyes are not the same shape. My left eye is a different shape than my right eye, so it's always interesting for me to figure out how to mask that. And then sometimes you just gotta go back and forth and figure out what needs what to match them. Because we didn't put any face makeup on, I can just easily take wipes and just like clean up anything. If I want like a sharper point, I can add it by just taking a makeup wipe or a brush and just cleaning it up, which is what I'm gonna probably end up doing on this side. So just drying out on me. Grr. Let's stop being lazy and use a pot. So this is the Inglot number 77. And what brush do we want? Let's go Sigma Small Angle. I'm gonna use the cap to just really flatten out the brush so you can get the best shape. Keep it nice and slick. There we go. And this is nice too because it's not shiny. Good enough. Now I'll put just some whatever mascara. Let's just do some of this. This is the Essence Lash Princess Sculpting Volume Mascara. Take my trusty Ardell Wispies. All right, let's take one of these off. Use the Duo, the green brush on adhesive. And we're just gonna paint this on the lash band. I like the brush on because it's just, you can control where you're putting the glue versus the squeegee tube. I like to put extra glue on the edges because that's where they tend to lift and that's where you get exposed that you have fake eyelashes on. All right, this is my left eye. So the trick is to always make sure your glue gets tacky before you put it on. Otherwise it's gonna slip and slide everywhere. All right, so I like to go from above and just place it right on my lash line. Not on the actual lashes itself, but as close as you can on your lid to your lash line. Then I'll take the non-sharp end of my tweezers and just gently tap it into place. Nanny, come here, you little kitten. Say hello to the camera with your crazy evil face. Get down. Okay, with the power of editing, we have the other lash on. My eye is having like an allergy attack, so it's a little wacky right now. Okay, eyes are pretty much done. Let's move on to foundation. So let's do a little bit of primer. I'm gonna use the MakeupForever Step 1 Skin Equalizer. My skin has been looking okay. I have like weird redness, like eczema-y situation happening by my nose. I don't know what that's all about. Schmidt, you cannot be up here the whole time that I film. Get out of here. Stop it. Okay, for foundation, I am in a full coverage can mood. So I'm gonna go for the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, which are like my two favorite things when it comes to foundation. Long wear, full coverage. Thank you very much. And courtesy of this cat, I'm about to sneeze. Okay. Now these are in shades 2.15 and 2.18. So I'm gonna just do a mix because I don't really exactly know where I stand as far as shades go, so. I love the coverage of this foundation. It's so good. And I usually do my brows after foundation and bronzer because I usually get product all up in there and it's not worth having to go back and fix. Always bring it down to the neck to avoid that weird line. And I like to actually put it in my ear a little bit too. I hate when foundation gets on my earrings though. Okay, look at that coverage. So good. Okay, we are looking blended. I use the Morphe M439 brush, if I did not say that already. And for concealer, I'm gonna make a little cocktail and see what happens. This is the Tarte Shape Tape in light neutral. I mean, who doesn't love Shape Tape? It's so good. And then for a little bit of hydration and brightness, I'm just gonna add a little of the, this is the BeautyCounter Creamy Concealer. It's really good. I'm gonna use the Japanesque 718 brush and remove the dog hair out of it. And I like to just start off by just stamping the product in and really get it where I want it to go. It's looking pretty good. Okay. I really like that. It's a nice little concoction there. Okay, and then to set it, I like to set one eye before I move on to the other so I prevent more creasing. So I'll take my finger and just look up and stamp out any crease situation. Take a nice fluffy brush. This is a Luxie Precision Tapered brush and just lightly dust some powder on there. Get some of my laugh lines because I crease like crazy on my laugh lines. Let's do the other side. Put some BeautyCounter on top. And how red my eye is. I blame it on the cat. Yes, I have two cats 3 dogs, and I'm allergic to them all. I'm so used to it though, I've lived with it my whole life. Okay, stamp this out. I really like this duo here, noted. And I'm just using the Charlotte Tilbury 74 syllable. And I like to just be really light pressure when I set my concealer, because I feel like if you use like a more dense brush, you can disturb makeup underneath it, and I don't want that. All right, now, question is, do we want to use cream bronzer or powdered bronzer? I'm in a powder mood. So let's set the face a little bit with Cover FX powder in number P30. I like to really focus it wherever I'm gonna be putting bronzer. This adds a little bit more coverage, which I like. All right, and for bronzer, let's use the OFRA Versatile Matte Bronzer. And the brush is Morphe M527. I think I'm gonna, less of a contouring mood, more of like a warmth mood. I'm just gonna warmth up the face a bit. I have the world's biggest forehead, so let's warm this up. I always bring bronzer down to the neck. Now I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and just put a little under my lips and pretend to contour my nose. I don't even know why I do this. I'm almost positive it does quite literally nothing. Bronzer, we're good. Now for blush, I'm gonna try this. This is so old, it's the MAC blush in Raizin. And this stuff is very pigmented and arguably way too dark for me, but we're just gonna get some product on there and just, I feel like blush always wears off first for me, so I don't mind if it's a little heavy-handed at first. Sorry that I'm sniffling so much. This cat is ruining my life today. And now, let's have a little brow action. Been really liking the BeautyCounter Brow Pencil in light. And I don't really go crazy with my brows. I just kind of brush them up. That way I can see all the sparse areas. And then I'm just gonna sort of fill it in, like hairline strokes. And just kind of fill all that in. Brush this down. Just give it a little bit more definition, you know? I do have a brow tutorial if anyone is curious. If you're watching this and you're new to brows and they freak you out, a fun little trick, take a brow pencil or brush or whatever that's straight, place it against your nose, and then wherever the tip lands is where you want the start of your brow to be. And then if you turn it and put it towards the edge of your eye, still against your nose, wherever the tip lands is where you want the tail to be. And then where you want it to sort of lift is like, usually if you look straight, it's like gonna be right in line where like your pupil starts. So if you just look straight ahead in your mirror, you just take your pencil and you want it to live like in the vicinity in which your pupil looks straight ahead, if you choose to lift your brows. Learned that from the one and only Candy Johnson. And then to set them, I like to use the NYX Brow Mascara in the color Chocolate. And this just gives them a little bit more color. I tend to mute them out sometimes when I get makeup on them. This helps bring back that reddish tone. See, to the other side. Okay, what else? Oh, lips. MakeupForever Endless Cacao. These artist colored pencils are super good. I like to just color it in a little bit to make the edges less 90s. This is Blankety by MAC, which is more of like a purpley mauvey, which I like, but I need more brown. So I'm gonna go with No Shade by Joseph Color's DesiXKaty. Let's take an all over blend by Sigma and just blend this together. So good. And now real quickly, I'm just gonna do a little lower lash line situation. I'll just take a angled brush. I'm gonna pick up that dark brown color we used and just follow the wing liner I have in the corner and just drag it a little bit to the center. I'm not a huge, like blown out lower lash kind of gal. I just haven't fully committed to it yet. My eyeball is so mad. Now let's take one of these old schoolies. This is a Hana K little dome brush. I'm gonna take the 2 little crease colors I used and just look up. I hate putting a shadow on my lower The lash line makes my eyeballs very mad. All right, now let's pop a little bit more of that. Let's actually take this one. Let's take this one and pop this in the inner corner in case we lost some in our concealer travels. We'll do a little bit of mascara. This is the same one, the Lash Princess by Essence. These mascaras are really good. They're so cheap too. I mean, they're definitely not longest wearing ones, and they don't do well if you have even the slightest bit of moisture, but they apply great. Blend these babies. Let's do a little bit of setting spray. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And there we have it. Our look is complete. I think it came out pretty good for not knowing what I was going to do. It's pretty fun, especially for like the holidays around like this time. I like to just stick to like neutrals until like Christmas creeps up, and then you can start throwing on like the glitter liners and the fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, shoot it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and come follow me on Instagram because I'm always on there. I'm always posting stories and organizing things and cleaning things and doing stuff. So I'd love to have you. It's just my name, ShaynaGreer on Instagram. So come over and give me a follow. See you guys in my next video.